In this video, I will explain the Scrum framework, as simple, straight to the point, and try to keep it under 10 minutes. Let's see how it goes. Most of the things I will say in this video comes from the latest version of the Scrum guide. Yeah, the Scrum framework has a clear guide, 14 pages long, that you can use, follow, to implement Scrum in your organization or with your team. So let's dive in. There's a picture that you can see on the screen right now. We start from the left and move on to the right. The first thing you see on the left, inputs from customers, teams, managers, executives. But before talking about that, Scrum is a framework under Agility. Under Agility, there's lots of frameworks. There's lots of methods, tools you can use. One of them is Kanban. What I really like about Scrum is this concept of sprints. A sprint is typically between 1 and 4 weeks. Most teams I know use a sprint of 2 weeks. So at the beginning of a sprint, you do sort of a planning session. You commit on a list of things that you want to do. And at the end of a sprint, you see if you were able to do it or not. And typically, you release something to the market. Remember Agile principle number 1, our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Continuous delivery every single sprint. You're delivering something to the market. Why are you doing that? You could have worked on a development for months, for years, and then released it to the market. Something perfect. You don't want to do that. That's wonderful. That's the old model. With Agility, with Scrum, we make assumptions on what the customer wants, and we want to test these assumptions as soon as possible. That's why we release quickly to the market, because the best way to know what the customer wants is to actually make the customer use the system, and then they tell you what they want. That's why we want to release early, in small increments. Get feedback from customers, improve on the feedback, release again, get feedback, improve the product, and release again. That's the Scrum framework in a nutshell. So it all starts with the customers, teams, managers, executives giving you requirements. Let's take a simple example. I'm putting to the market a simple application that will help customers, bank users, do a transfer from one account to another account. As simple as this. So the stakeholders that might say, I want to do a particular type of transfer. Customers might say, I want to have a description field when doing the transfer. Others might say, I want to drop down, I want this color. You get tons of requirements, and you put all these requirements in something called the product backlog. The product backlog is maintained by the product owner. The purpose, the main goal, ultimate goal of a product owner is to maximize value. The team includes the product owner, Scrum Master that we'll talk about later, and developers. Developers are expensive. So a product owner's goal with this limited capacity of developers wants to ensure that we are putting the most valuable thing to the market, that over time of developers are going to developing something that will provide the maximum amount of value to the customer. So we put all these requirements to the product backlog. The product owner is here to prioritize this product backlog. Usually the top of the backlog is the highest priority. And then remember, to start a sprint, I told you we need to do a planning session. So in the planning session, the goal of a planning session is really simple. We need to agree on a list of things, usually user stories, tasks, that the team believes they will be able to implement in the sprint. And also agree on a sprint goal or multiple sprint goals. Usually completing all the items in the sprint will also help us achieve a sprint goal, or completing a few items will also help us achieve a sprint goal. The sprint goal is the highest priority of a sprint. A successful sprint is a sprint where we completed the sprint goal and we release something to the market. Something usable for the customer, because we need feedback. To reach this point, we need to go through all these requirements or user stories and understand the user stories. The developers need to understand, because they need to plan the work in the sprint planning, right? They need to know exactly how much work they can take in the sprint so that they can do a commitment. To do that, they usually ask questions to the product owner. What do you mean by this? Questions that will help them estimate. Some teams estimate, others don't. But no matter what you do, you need to find a formula, a way to know how much work you can take in the sprint so that you can commit on something. Usually this process is called backlog refinement. It's an activity that starts well before the sprint planning, a few days, maybe a few weeks before the sprint planning, and goes up to the sprint planning. And remember, the goal of a sprint planning is to produce a sprint goal or multiple sprint goals that we committed on, and have things that are transferred from the product backlog to the sprint backlog, the actual backlog of a sprint. Things that we'll work on in the sprint. Every single day of a sprint, we do something called a daily stand-up. In Scrum, in the Scrum guide, it's not mentioned. It's not called the daily stand-up, it's called the daily scrum. The goal of a daily scrum is simple. Let the people tell you you need to ask for 3 questions. What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? Any impediments, any blockers? No. The goal of a daily scrum is simple. If you want to be productive individually, if you want to be productive and effective, efficient, you plan your day, right? Same thing applies to a team. The daily scrum is a daily planning session. We are trying to answer a question. Are we progressing towards the sprint goal? Will we be able to complete the sprint goal by the end of the sprint? How can we collaborate together to move closer to the sprint goal? It's a daily planning session for the team. So every single day, daily planning session, we work on the things that we committed on to do until the end of a sprint. At the end of a sprint, there's usually an increment that we produced, and we do a sprint review. We bring in all the stakeholders in the sprint review, the customers, all the people that gave the requirements, people that can actually test, use the product. And in the sprint review, the team tells the story of what happened in the sprint. We had these challenges. These things work well. We committed on this. We completed this. What do we plan to do in the next sprint? And there's a demo part of things. We developed this. It looks like this. Give us feedback, tell us what to improve, and all the improvements of stakeholders that give us go back to the product backlog, and maybe if it's high priority, can be planned in the next sprint. We also do something. Scrum Agility is all about inspection, reflection, adaptation. We do something called the sprint retrospective, where all the team members sit together, and we talk about things that went well in the sprint and could be improved. Lessons learned that we can implement in future sprints to do better. And typically, we take these lessons learned, these actions that we can actually implement to make other sprints better, we move them to the sprint backlog. And we can take one action that we want to work on together to improve as improvement item per sprint. That's it. That's the Scrum framework, and it goes on and on and on continuously. Remember, with agility, there's no peak in work close to release date. And then we'll crash, we go with the flow. And then peak again, close to release date. No, we want a sustainable pace because there's releases every single week. Sustainable pace. We go on and on every single sprint. We party, we have fun, we collaborate together, and we release things to the market every single week. We get feedback, we improve a product, and we go on and on. And so that's Scrum in a nutshell. A key role that I didn't mention yet, the Scrum Master. Scrum Master, again, the roles in the team are not really roles. Developers, product owners, are accountabilities. You can check the latest version of the Scrum Guide to get full details on the accountabilities of each one of these 3, product owner, developers, and Scrum Master. So the goal of a Scrum Master here is to facilitate. Facilitation simply means helping make something easy. You're here to guide the person. You're here to guide the team. You're the expert of Agile. You're the expert of Scrum. You're here to ensure that they follow the Scrum framework as per the latest version of the Scrum Guide and that the team is effective. You do this by facilitating this whole process. From here, the requirements, to here, finished work retrospective. Doesn't mean that you need to facilitate all the events. You're facilitating the whole thing. And also facilitating coaching. Coaching members to do that themselves. I always say to Scrum Masters, new joiners, your ultimate goal with the team is to leave the team. You need to get yourself out of a job. If the team can be effective and improve their effectiveness continuously, without you, you're no longer needed in a team and you can move on to other things. That's Scrum in a nutshell. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.